Well, hello, everyone. This is John Byrne with Poets and Quants. Welcome to Fridays with Sandy. That would be Sandy Kreisberg, the founder,
Shalom, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving.
founder of HBSGuru.com, of course. And we have a really fascinating candidate. She works in Montreal for a pretty interesting company that's the market leader in video security software, has over 1,000 employees. It's a private company, and it works with some of the world's largest companies and organizations to provide video security. She is a product marketing manager and has been since July of 2019, has spent nearly 4 years with that company. Let me give you her name, Fablia. And she is a graduate of Concordia University, the Molson School of Business. She has an undergraduate degree in business, of course. And her targeted schools are unusual as well. She is looking at
Excuse me, John.
one year.
This is real important.
Largely
she's
1 year
for 1 year
MBA program.
program.
So it's
Tell
NYU,
the folks what that means.
and it's accelerated, intense 1 year experience to get your MBA. She's looking at the accelerated program at Kellogg School, Cornell Tech in New York City, and NYU Tech in New York City, and NCOD, which of course is a 10-month experience. And she intends to go for that Hail Mary pass by throwing in an application at Harvard Business School. So I didn't give the stats, which is basically it's a 3.7 in her marketing major. And she took the GRE and the GMAT. In the GRE, she split 161 even across both verbal and quant. The GMAT score was a 680. So what do you think?
I think I don't think you're getting into. Let's get the bad news out of the way. You know, Hail Mary at Harvard is good. You're a woman in tech. That's something they're open to. You're on the numbers. You're a little bit low for them. The people from Genentech, your current employer, do they apply to business school?
I would say that some do, but not the vast majority. I could think of about 5 who have gone and gotten their MBAs.
And those you've mentioned, those are typically at Canadian schools.
Some of them are Canadian schools. A few of them were at INSEAD or HEC Paris, and one of them was at Columbia.
Okay. That's not changing my mind. I think Harvard's going to be hard. I think Harvard's a reach. I don't think it's a Hail Mary. I think it's a reach. The numbers, 3.7 GPA, the GRE scores, those are the low range of normal for Harvard. And then you say, well, what's your dowry, given that the scores are a little low? And you go, I'm a woman in tech. I've got an interesting background. And they might go, yeah, that's true.
Speaks French, proficient in Bengali, speaks English obviously very well.
And comes from small, medium, what they call small, medium enterprises. That is to say, a company with, a not listed company with 1,000 to 2,000 employees.
Also, she's established herself as a thought leader in her industry.
Yeah.
28 years of age.
So let's play it out. Okay. Here's an interview question. Very important, particularly for 1 year programs. But what are you going to do? What job do you want after you graduate?
So after the 1 year program, I'm looking to remain in technology, specifically cloud-based software, but transition from product marketing, which is a little more narrow, to product management at a company like Microsoft or Amazon in the short term. And then in the long term, I see myself growing up and becoming a VP of product.
So that's why you want the 1 year, that's why you want an MBA. Now, you mentioned to us that you've been in touch with these companies.
Yeah, exactly. So Microsoft is
That's a very
actually,
interesting story. Pay attention, listeners. How did you get in touch with these companies?
so Microsoft is actually a partner of ours. So I work on a cloud-based software, and Microsoft Azure is the cloud that we use. So I have quite a few contacts in the organization already. And for Amazon, they actually reached out to me on LinkedIn. They saw, I believe it was a blog or Q&A or video that I had done in the cloud space. It was a panel discussion. So they saw the video and they were interested and reached out on LinkedIn.
What did they say?
They actually were looking for a senior product marketing manager, either in Seattle or Montreal. And I told them about my plans to have the MBA, and for it's a one-year program, and specifically I'm interested in product management, and they were pretty open to it. So we've kept in touch ever since the summer, actually. So they're aware of like when I'll graduate and what my plans are in the future.
Okay, so that's a one-off story. You did a great thing by virtue of the fact that you've got a lot of videos out there.
Yes.
That's what made it happen, right? Yeah. Good for you. So you're in great shape. You're just of interest because of your story and what you want to do in terms of, well, I think for the one-year programs, John, I don't think Fably is going to have any trouble getting into uh, the one-year program she listed.
I agree. I think all of them are within reach. NCEAD, Kellogg, Cornell, and NYU. My question to Sandy on this would be, okay, we know Harvard is a reach. So how do we get Harvard to be closer in view? So in the essay, what more do you want to know about this person, essentially?
Well,
What do you think you should say in that essay?
we'll deal with the essay second, just in terms of reality here. Who could you get to write your recommendations? Or could you get someone to write two real recommendations? And then do you know any big feet, if you know what that is? It's the plural of Bigfoot, if you know what that is.
So the recommender, so my first recommender is my immediate manager. He's in a really good shape to write the letter, actually. And my second recommender is from my manager from my previous job as well.
Those two are perfect, but they're just going to write good recommendations, right? And you're going to prep them, right?
And in terms of big feet, my cousin is actually a professor at Harvard University. So I was thinking it could be like a third extra recommendation.
What do you think of that, Sandy?
If your father were a professor at Harvard Business School, you would get in. We're getting, what's that famous thing? 6 degrees of separation here. I don't think what could your uncle say about you?
No, it's my cousin, actually. That's why I was like, it's a bit more of a reach. Yeah.
I don't think he can do much for you. But yeah, if just for general information, if you're these rules are being, there's a movement afoot now where schools are being less friendly to their children of alumni. There's stories about this in the papers in the past week. I believe like Amherst College just changed their admission standard not to give a leg up to children of alumni. So there's a move afoot in that direction.
Although that probably doesn't apply to graduate school.
Yeah, well, graduate schools, it almost never applied.
Yeah. So there aren't that many legacies in grad school.
Well, let's just deal with business school. What's it worth if your father went to HBS?
Not a whole lot, I don't think.
I don't think so. I could be wrong. Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I don't think you're wrong. You're right.
Yeah.
So I think what she needs to play up is the fact that she's a thought leader and how she became a thought leader,
Women in tech,
and the
women
fact
in
she's her current
video,
employer is Women in Tech Recruit.
right? And
Yeah.
women in tech, yeah. And then for Harvard, what what would your essay, what would your career goal be?
Same career goal, I imagine, right?
Yeah, correct. I would keep the same career goal. I
Okay,
would try
here's
to.
something that I ask every week and no one is ever able to answer, even though I ask it every week and tell people, you know, tell me someone whose job you want in 20 years.
I would like Todd Yellen's job. He's the VP of product at Netflix. Particularly because Netflix has been such a pioneer, especially at the beginning of this cloud era. And what is fascinating about him is the way he markets the product in a storytelling way instead of a features and functionalities way, which is what I see in myself as a differentiator in the product marketing space.
That's too much in the weeds. What you need is a woman.
Oh, is there a woman in tech that you admire?
Yeah, that's what you need.
There is actually
you should be able to come up with who?
Well, the VP of marketing at Peloton, actually. She's, I don't know if you guys have seen, she has a few master classes. She's been on Forbes. Her name escapes me right now, but
that's all right. She's a great example.
Same
Okay.
as Todd. She's really pioneering in that space.
She makes your case real easy. My goal is to be a woman, an impactful woman leader in a new and exciting company. You know, heroes of mine are people like Jane Smith, who is the thing at Peloton, and you come up with two more. Okay.
Yeah, because the whole idea, the whole women in tech angle and being a thought leader, obviously, I'm assuming that you're passionate about wanting more women in tech, and I think you're passionate about iCloud computing and what it all means, which to many people is a bit obscure.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a Canadian angle here? Do you want to go back to Canada? Or do you like it in Canada? You want to be a leader in Canada? Do you like Canadian business?
Yeah, long term.
Montreal's a fun place.
Montreal is a fun place, but as I look out my window, it's starting to snow and we're only in November. I would definitely long term want to come back to Canada, but I think I would like to be in the US in the short term just to gain the experience from larger tech companies and hopefully bring that back to the Canadian space after.
True or false? My long-term goal is to be an impactful woman leader in Canada.
True.
Okay, you got to say that. That's the first sentence of your essay, not in those words, but you get what I'm saying?
Got it. That's actually a good advice.
And then, role models for me are these women 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. So this is for Harvard mainly, right? I mean, it's
the same
for anything.
Yeah, it's the same essay for all the schools you're interested in. It's just I don't think you're going to have any trouble at NYU, Cornell, Kellogg, or INSEAD in the 1-year program. You're just a natural fit.
Yeah, you really are.
And the numbers line up.
So the only question then is, getting that essay to be really solid to bring the odds in your favor at Harvard.
Yeah, the essay, and if there's no Bigfoot, there usually isn't, and then you have to, the guys who are going to write your recommendations, are they open to accepting a draft from you?
A draft. I have coached them, and
right. That's good. Hey, that's legit. By the way,
that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
So then you have to. Then the only person you have to free is yourself. You've got to drink your own Kool-Aid.
Okay, so let me ask another awful question. Awful question. Should you retake the GMAT or the
Here's
GRE?
something I found on the web. According to onedropolis.org.
Talking to me?
Yeah.
How many times have you taken it?
The GMAT, I've taken it 3 times, and I think I'm pretty capped out. And the GRE, I've taken it twice.
Okay, I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Scores,
I don't think you need to.
right?
I mean,
She doesn't
look,
need to, and it's not likely she's gonna change the story dramatically, given that she's, taken these tests a number of times.
right.
I think the other.
All right. So pretty much for you,
No,
huh?
just to be nasty, the other question is, let's say you got into Kellogg full time, would you accept that? Or Wharton, let's say you got into the Wharton 2-year program. Is there any advantage to you going there?
Versus going to the Kellogg full-time 1-year program?
Yeah. Maybe not.
I don't
No,
think so. I
I
don't think so.
either. And you know what? I think you would fit in at Kellogg really well. You've got a really open, generous personality. They would love you, and you would love them.
That's true too. So then it's just Harvard because it's Harvard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't, but you're golden anyway.
You position yourself as an impactful woman leader in technology to Harvard, and you come up with some role models like the ones we talked about, and you convince them of what things have influenced you and what kind of impact you want to have. And you have your recommenders sing out of the same songbook. Your chances at HBS, given that scores are a little low for HBS, but not everybody, half the class is below average. Keep that in mind.
Well,
I
below
could
the
be part
median,
of that half.
below the median for sure.
Right. Yeah.
And Harvard is very anxious to get more women. They are trailing peer schools in female enrollment. So I think this is a really good time for you as a woman in tech.
And I think I can also bring the angle of, well, like Sandy said, the recruitment of tech women. I've done it at campuses. I've done it for my company, but also my extracurriculars revolved around that. And that's how, through the networking, is how I got my first job in the first place as well. So given that PMM is a sought after MBA role, I feel like I could bring insider information and help, quite frankly, on what they're looking for, the type of candidate, day-to-day, all that.
She's drinking the Kool-Aid already, even before we open her
So
refrigerator.
what are her chances at Harvard, Sandy?
30%.
Okay, that's darn good.
Yeah.
That's almost 3 times the rate of acceptance at Harvard Business School.
If you package yourself together. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do a really good job on that essay, and your recommenders have to do a really good job of reinforcing what you say.
And then I usually don't do this, although if you got an interview at Harvard, I'd hire me for a mock interview. Really would.
I would love that. I'll take you up on that, Sandy.
Yeah. That would be
all right. Well, look, you're definitely getting in. We'll see you at one of these schools next year, maybe. And good luck with Harvard. And if not Harvard, Kellogg is going to be fantastic for you. NCI would be great, or Cornell or NYU Tech programs would be terrific as well. Wherever you're going to go, you're going to be very successful. So thank you so much for participating.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for being a good sport and a good candidate, Fabia.
Thank you guys so much.
All right. This is John Byrne with Poets and Quants. You've been watching Fridays with Sandy. See you next week.